I didn't put any lotion on my face. Oh, that's weird. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't know why I just said that. Suddenly my face got super tight. I'm like, oh, idiots. Sorry. People are already starting to scream on the streets, so let's just ooze the window. All right, what's going on, Scorpio? What are we going to do today for you? I didn't even really think about this. I want some... Okay. Oh, this might be an intense reading. Because Hush wants to come out. But I'm going to use these as like title indicators, and then I'll grab some tarot. Let's see what happens. See how intense we gotta go. Which, I was watching Signs, M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. And I was trying to relax, and like I've gotta go to work soon, so I'm like, fuck. Like, I have a pretty tough job. And they were like, please get up and do this reading. I'm like, yo, seriously? And I couldn't not get up to do the reading. Like, I had to get up, and then I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just have a shower and eat, and then I'll let my hair dry, and then go to work. See how dedicated I am to this channel? I tell you. Dedication. Okay, here we go. Let's get the theme of this redone. Okay. Moisturizer is the key to healthy skin. My sister has recently just learned that because she just started putting lotion on her skin every day and realizing how better her skin is getting. I'm like, yo, you have got to moisturize your skin, okay? I met this 80-year-old once who I swear I thought she was 60, and her secret was lotion. She's like, you know what keeps me looking like this? Lotion. I'm like, okay, I am definitely gonna trust you on that. Wow. I want to break free. Oh, there's Queen again. Yo, this is a big reading. Okay. It ends with the Ace of Pentacles. See that key in that dove's mouth? I don't give him much, but yeah, hit the lotto. Oh, there's Yellow Wolf. I've been listening to Bach Chevy 7 quite a bit. It's become one of my favorite songs. And I heard that song today, I don't give him much, but yeah, hit the lotto. Because the way that he sees it, getting a record deal is him winning the lottery. Right? Because the lottery is different to everybody. It's not one concrete thing, right? Like, to most people, it's as cut and dry as what it is. But to other people, winning the lottery could be 40 hours a week at fucking $40 an hour, and you didn't have to go to school. That could be, right? A lottery win could be getting a job where you all of a sudden have benefits. And you're like, what the fuck? That's like hitting the lottery. Especially if you're in the States. Canada, we have free health care. We have OHIP. But we still have to pay for things. But we don't have to pay to go see a doctor. We don't have to pay for a diagnosis, really, right? Doctors are a lot here like lawyers. They have to give free advice. Here, they have to give free medicine. But you're not allowed to stay in the hospitals and shit. You know what I mean? You got to pay for all that stuff. But if you get benefits, then you don't. Right? So winning the lottery is different to everybody. And from the looks of it, this Ace of Pentacles is winning the lottery because we'll get into the other theme cards now. We got the Five of Wands. Okay, so the Five of Wands is like a battle. That's a battle. And with all those snakes, this battle was to happen inevitably. Okay? And you might have got twisted and turned around a lot of negativity and a lot of fire and a lot of things that might have just been put onto you because It's one of those things. Yes, it's like hot potato or musical chairs, like the music stops and you just got left-handed something and you're like, great. So it's like the luck of the draw, it didn't have to happen that way, but it has to happen for somebody. So you just happen to be the shit end of the stick from the looks of it, okay? Which then we go into the Queen of Swords, which that's like finding clarity in that, okay? Like finding crystal clear clarity in the fact that you've had to fight your ass off for something that you just got handed, okay? It wasn't like you asked for this, and then these motherfuckers made you defend yourself because of it. So it's like, now I'm getting like, it's the kind of thing where you find an abandoned baby on the side of the road and you just take it because there's nobody else around and there's nobody else to do it, and then the world's like, well, that's your responsibility now, and you're like, what? But I just found it. Like, I did what anybody else would have done and picked it up, but apparently nobody else picked this up. You were the only one that did. Okay, so from the looks of it, you went and got some egg. Look at that. See that little egg? Or golden thing in between those two snakes' mouths that's holding them together? It's almost like, what was I going to say about that ball? That's the inevitable ball, I think. That's what you got caught handed. Like, you just got caught with it in your hands. And then, oh, no. Okay, what was it? Okay, you dug to the bottom of a pile of snakes? That was the other thing I was going to say. Well, put it this way. If there was something, okay, that needed help, and it was in the bottom of a bunch of snakes, but luckily you know that for the most part snakes don't bite, okay? You just have to be very calm when handling them. So it's almost like you were like, okay, well, if no one else is going to do it, I'll fucking put my hand in there, because the worst thing that's going to happen is it's going to get bit, okay? That's the worst thing that's going to happen, and I'll still be able to get it. Worst thing, I get 5 bites, right? There's only 5 snakes here. So the worst this person thought was, well, I'll get bit 5 times. Whatever. Like what, you can't get bit by something 5 times just to get the treasure in the bottom? Oh! Treasure in the bottom. Oh my God, that's what it is. And then you had to stand there and defend it. You know what this is that you found. And then you had to defend it because you knew that it was your egg. It was you picked it up. You're the one that risked your ass for it. And now these people want to try to take it. So you become super defensive over it. Okay, because you're like, no, this is mine. You all walked by it. You didn't care about it. I grabbed it. And because I grabbed it, I did the most dangerous thing. You want to come up and try to steal it from me? Oh, no. No. And you know what I was thinking too last night? I was laying in bed. And usually I'm used to just trashing these YouTube channels after like a year or so, and then I just start another one, right? It's like my life has been very chaotic, and I questioned a lot of things over the last couple of years, so I didn't want to carry a channel with something that I wasn't completely assured that this was how it was going to be, right? So I had no problems trashing it, but then last night something said, if you move or if you go on the road or if you travel, are you still going to do this channel? Like, is this still going to be you? And I'm like, why do you think I have it? Because I've got a phone and tarot decks, and I can upload and I can download and I can record wherever the fuck I am, wherever I want, whenever I want, right? I can record a video while I'm at work, for fuck's sakes, if I really wanted to, okay? You can record yourself doing anything anywhere. Doesn't really matter, right? And I said, I will carry this channel until the end. Like, until I am old and moldy. If I want this channel, I will still have it. Because I, at once, am at a point in my life where I'm not willing to give anything up for anything anymore. Right? Like, you can't chase me out of town to give up a job. You can't chase me out of my house to give up a channel because you're stalking me. I'll just fight back now. Right? So it's like someone's been hanging in this of having to defend something that everybody keeps trying to take. But look it, you're undoing the barbed wire, which means you're setting yourself free, which means you no longer, it's like this, and you know what they say? If it's yours, okay, if you set something free and it's yours, it'll come back to you. If you set something free and it's not yours, it's never going to come back again because it doesn't want to, okay? But from the looks of it, this dove wanted to come back with this key. So I almost think like maybe you hid something away, right? Like you clearly knew what the value of something was and what you fought for. So it's almost like maybe you went and you hid it away somewhere, and then the world brought it back to you. I see you stalking, hawking with your coffin over my 1979. Like, see this? He's talking about people in box Chevy. He's talking about people liking his Chevy. And he's got this, like, old restored Chevy. I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot, but the song itself is, and he has to protect this car because no matter where he goes, somebody's going to try and steal it. And actually, I lived with this guy not too long ago, a couple years ago, and he had, oh my God, this boat in the backyard. It was fucking sweet. It was lowered. I almost actually think it might have been a Chevy. And he couldn't even park it on the road because he's parked it on the road before and he's actually seen people come and try and steal it. So he has to be very careful with this car because he knows the value of it. And there's not even like there's a whole lot of value in it because it's not in the best shape, but he knows what somebody could do to it. And he knows what the street value of it is, right? So he had to guard that car and he had to put it in the backyard where there was no backyard, okay? The car was the backyard, put it that way. Fucking sucked. Just try to have a fire around a Chevy. It's almost impossible, okay? So what's this Ace of Pentacles, please? Yeah, something you've been worried about. Because you might have sent it off and then wondered, ooh, is this going to come back or not? Oh my God, look how cool this is. So this is like obviously what someone's been worried about, okay? It's kept them up at night. Like I said, something was asking me about my YouTube channel last night. And I don't know if it was my soul or if it was somebody else being like, are you going to give it up now? Is this the end of your channel? Are you just going to throw this in the gutter like you do everything else? And I'm like, no, who the fuck are you? Like, no, I'm not giving anything up, right? But it came in at night, which a lot of these things tend to do once you lay down. Right? All those demons come out. And then look at that. Queen of Swords, Six of Cups. It comes back. And the Queen, the reason why you sent this away to begin with is because you knew it was going to come back. Because you cherished it and you loved it. And you didn't, that wasn't a lie. Okay? Love is not a lie. It tells the truth, and if people come back to you with more love than how they left, woo-wee, that means they want to come back, okay? And I think you've had your eye on this for a while, okay? You had your eye on this because I think it hurt you so much, okay? You knew what was put into your heart, and you saw it, okay? And that's why you sent this away. You know, now I'm getting X-Files where Dana and Mulder, right, they hook up and they have a baby, William, and they give William up. They have to put him up for adoption because aliens start coming in and then secret agents start coming in and they all want to get this baby because they know that this baby that Mulder and Scully created has special powers. So they send him away. So then they can't harm him. So then nothing in their life can do anything to him. Okay? I almost feel like that. I almost feel like you might have, you know, like that's that feeling of sending something away in order to protect it. Right? And you had to move on and heal. Okay? That's what I feel. You had to move on and heal. So then when it came back to you, you'd be good as new. Okay? King of Swords. a bird just landed on my balcony, and that never happens. That's creepy. Almost actually kind of looked like a dove. Weird. So yeah, birds are coming home. So this thing is coming back around to you. Anything after the King of Swords, please? Quite a bit, actually. Hangman again. So you are definitely hanging in something, okay? And the balance is here, so you're upright now. You go from hanging upside down to being perfectly balanced. See how like their arms are almost the same, and the way that their feet are almost the same, and the wings behind her and the sun behind him, you know, like those are very, they're very alike, okay? And how they're standing. I never really noticed that actually the hangman has the Two of Wands in it. Because, I mean, and that would make sense, you know, when you're caught between a rock and a hard place, what are you supposed to do? But then while being caught in this rock and a hard place, all your dreams come true. That's the bartender, okay? What do you do when you go up into the club? You go to the bartender first, okay? And then Five of Swords. Something's definitely been, I almost feel like that's the card of somebody trying to take, okay? And because you're so balanced, they might come and try to take, and you don't give it to them now. Right? And that's all about boundaries. Setting boundaries. Not letting people take your words. Not letting people take what's yours. Whether it's words, actions, a key. This key came back because it's meant for you. And it's like the sword and the stone, you know, like it takes the right person to pull the sword from the stone. Everybody else is trying, but they're trying because they want something for themselves. The person who pulls the sword from the stone, they know is powerful and wants to do everything for everybody because it's the sword of power. It's what generates everything. And that kind of power can't be put into the wrong hands. Because when it does get put into the wrong hands, it gets massively manipulated, right? Look at some celebrities. That power, it goes to their head, right? And then I was thinking, actually, you know what I was thinking of? The exact thing that I was thinking of yesterday was Helene from Gone Baby Gone. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's a Ben Affleck movie. Gone Baby Gone, Helene, that character, I forget what her name is in real life. Amy? I'm not sure, but she's also in The Office. Okay, she comes in The Office as Holly, Helene, Holly. Hey, that's funny. Anyways, so I was thinking about her character because, you know, when actors, you know what I actually said to myself was, I wonder if that actress is proud of the role she played in Gone Baby Gone. Because in Gone Baby Gone, she's a fucking skeezer. Like she's fucking dealing heroin, and she's fucking taking her kid with her, and she's basically putting her kid into the worst possible situations until it gets kidnapped. Okay? And the baby gets, well, the child, the girl, gets kidnapped by the chief of police. Right? And Helene, still through the whole movie, is so fucking trashy. And the things that come out of her mouth, you just think to yourself. And then even at the end of the movie, once she gets her kid back, she still fucks around. Like, she still doesn't actually care that she's got a kid. Even though it was just kidnapped and could have been killed and taken away from her forever. Right? So I was like, I wonder if that actress, in real life, okay, whatever her fucking name is, I wonder if she's proud of that role as Helene. Because I know a lot of actors, they actually, I truly believe that they think they changed the world somehow with their role in that movie. Like, I don't want to diss actors or anything, because I obviously love movies, and if we didn't have actors, we wouldn't have movies. But I also know that power that goes to them, what they end up doing with that power afterwards is fucked. And that's why I always talk about this band called NQ Arbuckle. I will always talk about them. They're from Toronto, and they did not get famous. And they could have numerous times, and they didn't. They stayed underground, and they do $2,000 shows in Toronto. Oh, I think it's $5,000 now. I think it was $5,000. We almost rented them for my sister's wedding. She wanted a band. And then my sister's husband at the time, who was fucking rich, wouldn't pay the $5,000 to have this band play. Her favorite band in the whole world. And, straight from Toronto, and they fucking kick ass. They didn't go mainstream. They didn't fucking get that, in their head. And for the most part, NQ, Neville, at any concert that I saw him at, he was walking around in the crowd. He actually stood beside me we were watching a show. Neville was fucking right beside me, just standing there. NQ Arbuckle. Neville Arbuckle was just standing beside me, and I didn't even talk to him. I have so much respect for him that we were just kind of listening to each other's conversations. It was really cute, actually, because it's like we wanted to talk, but we didn't. And me and my sisters ended up talking about random shit, and then he was listening. I could see him listening to our conversation, and I'm like, see, Neville, you're just any other guy. Why is it that because you produce music, you think that you're different from everybody else? Because you're not, right? It's just your profession. It's what you choose to do. It's the same as YouTube readers that have 1 million subscribers. Like, if they let that get to their head, they're not channeling property at all anymore, right? So, what is fame to you? What is this Ace of Pentacles to you, right? Because it's different to everybody. Winning the lottery is different to everybody. Fame to people is different to everybody. Right? Like you could just be famous in your town and that's enough for you. You could be famous around the world and that's not enough for you, right? So I almost feel like whatever, I don't know how we started. Oh yeah, because the power. This power that somebody decided to go to the bottom of a snake pit and get, okay? Somebody thought that they could just come in and steal. Okay, I'm sorry. If you're not willing to dive into the snake pit, you're not willing to get the treasure. And now I can see, sexy little Harley Davidson boy just showed up across the street. Yummy. I have a thing for Harley drivers. I meet so many Harley Davidson people. I meet more motorcycle enthusiasts than I meet anybody else. Seriously, they're just all around me. I swear, if my future boyfriend doesn't drive a Harley Davidson, I might not date him. Ha! Anyways, what was I gonna say? I don't even know what I was gonna say now. That guy just totally threw me off. Hello. Mother, may I? Anyways, I'm gonna stop checking this hot dude out across the street. Maybe I won't stop checking him out. I don't know. Anyways, right, when, that power, you have to remember, with power comes great responsibility, okay? With power comes great responsibility. And if this thing has decided to come back around to you, okay, because it just so happens to have chosen you, it decided to drop that key on your balcony, and now I'm getting, oh my God, this one time I fed the birds. It had been a while since I fed the birds because I was broke. And my sister and I were literally shopping at the dollar store for food. And this wasn't that long ago. And I finally gave them stale Cheerios or something. I threw something off the balcony anyways because I was like, this is perfect. I'll give the birds this. The next day, there was this thing dropped off on the balcony. Okay. It was this bone that kind of was shaped like a wishbone. It still had feathers on it. And it almost looked like the birds they dropped it off on the edge of the balcony and it was just sitting there. So as soon as you came out to the balcony, it was the only thing that you saw. And I swear, 3, 4, or 5 birds just showed up as I'm telling this story. They left me a present. And this actually reminds me, I used to take my sister's German Shepherd to the woods all the time. He was massively trained, like a fucking boss. And we would walk in the same place all the time. And this one time, these fucking people came and dumped all this garbage. And for some reason, we thought it was going to get picked up eventually. So a year later, this garbage was still there. And my sister and I were like, all right, fuck it. We got to clean this up. Like, this is where we go every day. And if some motherfuckers is going to dump their garbage. And by that time, we knew all the food was gone. All the nastiness was gone. Turns out it was just a bunch of fucking laundry detergent fucking jugs and some fluff. And it was like actually not hard to clean up. And once we cleaned it up, within the next few weeks, all these leaks came out, right? Because it was the beginning of the summer. So all these leaks came out. And then I went back in there to look. And I swear, a fucking elf or a lawn gnome or a little tiny gremlin, somebody left me a present. Because it was this like old balloon that had been wrapped up. And there was this like little piece of like greenery in it. And I went, oh my God, I think they left me a present. And it was so cute, the way that it was all done up. And I thought, okay, like magic exists. Like it's never gonna let you see it. But if you believe it, then it will show you something. So by cleaning up that garbage, that wasn't my responsibility to clean up. It wasn't her responsibility, but it was our area. So we kept it clean. We got given a reward. Right? And that was directly from the universe. Whether you want to believe it or not, I really don't care. I'm not here to try to get you to believe me on things. I'm here to just tell you straight up what the fuck happens in a magical life day to day, okay? And that was left, and I kept that on my altar for, I think, almost a year. Until I moved, and then I threw it away. And when you get given gifts, you have to see it for what it is. Because if you don't, then the universe won't give you gifts. But something that is willing to come back to you and literally drop the key off right in front of you and go, you earned this? I would say that you did something pretty fucking good, okay? To get that type of like reconciliation, like no, that kind of recognition from the universe of what it is that you're doing, right? Like you can be given awards for the best manager, for the best person, for the best whatever. If you're not actually benefiting the world somehow, or the people around you, or your backyard, or the animals, like everybody has to give back. It's the laws, right? So the fact that this comes back around to you, it's because you chose to do something that other people don't do. And I'm not saying other people as in a unit. I'm saying other people that are not woken up. Okay, they don't do the things that people who are woke do because they just don't recognize it. They don't see anything but themselves or what's right in front of them or what they can gain out of something, right? Whereas the people who see the void and see the in-between know what gets given to them for giving to others, right? Because it is a give and take kind of world. So by this coming back to you, it's like literally like you had to stand still. Like I almost feel like somebody couldn't advance, right? You still could be in like a 20-year-old position, you know, where it's like you're working with a bunch of 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds and you're like, I'm fucking 40, I'm 50 years old. How am I still a line cook? How am I still making $15 an hour? How am I still with all the kids? It's because you had to hang out like you were a kid. And you know what I just noticed? The King and the Queen of Swords are out here. So if that's not looking at the truth and taking it, I don't know what is. Because both those people don't fuck around. None of those people lie. They don't steal. They don't fuck around. They're quite clear. They're grounded. And they let the truth come to them. Right? So clearly somebody has let this come back to them. Because it is just a gift. And are you really going to look a gift horse in the mouth and kick it? Probably not. Not if it's meant for you, you're not going to, because then you know that horse ain't going to come back. So, I can still hear that Yellow Wolf song. I see you stalking, hawking with your coffin. Like, that's the thing, is when people steal stuff, they kill it. Because they don't care. They stole it. They didn't make it. They didn't create it. They didn't do anything for it. They stole it. So why do they care if it goes down the drain? That's why it's strategically being placed in your hands. It's being placed in your hands. Oh my God, look what was on the top of the deck. This is in motion right now. It's being directly given to you. It's not going to stop, and it's not going to fucking go. Wow. Because you wanted to defend it. Queen of Wands with the Seven of Wands. That's Seven of Wands out twice. You were the only one that was willing to put everything down for this. So, do you think, like, oh, there's a horse right there. Speaking of horses, gift horse, right? Do you really think that if you kicked that horse in the face, it would come back to you? No, but if you loved it, it would. It's always going to remember who took charge, who loved it, who rode it, who let it take it where it needs to go. It's never going to forget that. Because that's the thing is, as much as we love animals, we have to allow them to be free. We can't siphon them. You can't keep them in a cage. You can't keep them locked up. Animals aren't supposed to be locked up. When I see things in cages, I'm like, oh God, that makes me so uncomfortable. Especially terrariums. Anything that's like got something locked behind a glass is not right. It's not supposed to work that way. You're not supposed to just have animals in your house if you're going to lock them away. That's not right. Right? But you have to decide what deserves to be in a cage and what doesn't. Because if you put something in a cage, you might end up in a cage. Metaphorically speaking. So, anyways. And you know, like I said with my buddy Marlo, okay, my sister's dog that died because her ex-husband ran him over because he liked to play this game that said, hey, let the dog run beside the car. And then the dog slipped on ice and went under the car and fucking died because he's an idiot. And when people are immature like that and they show how negligent they are, you don't think that his little doggy spirit didn't go to heaven and go tell everybody that his dad ran him over? Of course he did. And he's coming to me, and let me tell you, that motherfucker was so trained, and he was barely on leash. Okay, he was only on leash because he got aggressive with people. Because he knew he had a job. It was to protect Mommy and Whitney. That's what his job was. And he came back to us every time. We had friends' dogs that would run on these hikes and not come back for hours. And Marlo, okay, once Marlo knew that the other dog was gone, he'd go find the other dog and then bark. So then we knew where he was. You think we trained him to do that? No. But we fucking talked to him all day long. That's all we did was talk to him. So he knew language. He knew human language. And he knew that we would listen to him. Because animals are fucking awesome. So anyways, I gotta cut this off because sometimes it cuts the video off. So hope it makes sense. Hope it resonates. Word to your mother. Peace out, everybody.